Okay, well, Declan, every time I talk to an opposing coach, they talk about how impressed they are with the Emporia State defense. As you look at this defense, what makes you guys so special?
I think we're just a mature group. Honestly, just our level of play. I'd say our effort. I think we put an emphasis on, flying around to the ball. Everybody, just getting to the ball is very important in this league. I would just say our effort is the main thing. A bunch of guys that care about each other, and when you got a bunch of guys who are all bought in with the same purpose, I think that makes a defense pretty good.
Yeah, Missouri Southern coming up on Saturday. You've watched them on film. You've talked about them. What is it that Southern does that can offer you guys some challenges?
Well, they're very good at running the ball. They got a very big and physical offensive line. Their running back, he's second in the conference in rushing yards. So I think they can move the ball. They got big receivers who can go up and make plays. So I think most importantly, we're gonna have to shut down the running game though.
What else do you see as keys to winning this game from the defensive aspect?
Just kind of going back to our effort. We're just gonna have to keep playing at a high level of effort like we have. Keep playing physical. Starting off hot like we have been the past 3 or 4 weeks. I think that's really important for us. Just kind of getting on top of the offense, in the first quarter.
And we have talk about second leading rusher in the conference. Last week he had held the top leading rusher to 130, averaging 130 a game. Just I think 50-something yards on the ground. So just kind of does that kind of give you confidence when you hold it to T.J. Davis? When you contain a play like that to the way you did last week.
Yeah, I'd say it gives us confidence, but honestly, we're a pretty confident group. I think we all trust each other a lot. Last week was a big win for us, but we're focused, trying to turn the page, go on from last week, and we're focused on getting better this week and getting ready for MSSU.
And then, when your offense does what they did, I guess, last week as well, but does that make your job on defense side of the ball easier playing with a big cushion like that?
Yeah, it does. It helps whenever they're rolling. Gives us a little more time on the sideline. We can make adjustments there on the sideline and kind of figure out what they're doing, hitting us on, and the offense is out there putting up points. That kind of makes you feel a little bit better. Makes your job easier.
Lady?
Hey Declan, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. So, you guys beat a top 25 ranked team, which is awesome. Just what do you learn about the defense in a game like that, and how do you just take that into future weeks?
Yeah, I think it just kind of speaks to the character of our defense. We're up for any challenge. Kearney had a really good offense. T.J. Davis is a really great player. I think it just kind of speaks, to how we prepare, how we go into a game. We knew they were really good, but we kind of wanted to make a statement ourselves, and we're a confident group. And like I said, I think just the way we play with such a high level of effort really, helps us out a lot.
And being able to hold off an offense like that, just what is that doing for you guys for this weekend's game against Missouri Southern?
I don't know how much that affects us this week. It's a new team, new game plan. We're kind of putting Kearney in the past, and we're focused on this Saturday.
And just what have you noticed about Southern's offense?
Kind of like I said, they're real physical up front. They got a lot of size. Quarterback's decent. He makes good throws, but their running back, he runs the ball hard, and like I said, he's the second leading rusher in the conference. So, running behind that big O line, they're very physical. So we're gonna have to shut down that run game.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Vince?
All right, Declan, really quick, when your defense is playing like that, as Lady said, against a ranked team and a ranked opponent like that, we have Jada Poole, a lot of these guys flying around. How crucial is that when you guys are having that momentum and then you give the ball back to Braden, we know what he can do. How effective is that when your defense is shutting down an offense like that and giving the ball to Braden and letting him do what he's got to do?
Well, I think it's really important, that we play complementary. I think with the way our offense plays with the tempo, if we can go get a 3 and out and get them the ball right back, I think it's pretty hard for any defense to, slow them down whenever they're rolling like that and with the tempo they have. So I think it's very important for us to get off the field and, just immediately get the ball right back to the offense and let them keep carrying on with the momentum that they have.
Last one I have, Declan. What would you say from week one, or really maybe training camp, if you will? What have you seen out of these 7 weeks out of this defense? Maybe that somebody doesn't know about your defense that, like, hey, you guys should watch out for us. Is there something that you've seen in these last 7 weeks that you're like, we could be really scary in this certain area?
I think we've done a really good job on, eliminating big plays. I think last year that was a huge problem for us, and this year every week we've done a really good job on shutting down big plays. I think that's kind of been an emphasis for our defense this year.
I'm good, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Declan.
Thank you.
First off, for Billy, congratulations. Nice game last Saturday. How big of a confidence boost for you was that?
Pretty huge. I feel like I kind of had some lows, early in the season, but O-line keeps doing their job, keeps doing well, keeps giving me kind of big holes to run through. So whenever they do their job, it makes my job a little easier.
Looking back at really the last 3 weeks for you guys, you've put up 40 points in each of the last 3 games. How exciting is it to prepare for those games, and how much fun is it to play in those games?
Exciting. Exciting to prepare is pretty fun. Just a lot of hard work, throughout the week. But definitely more fun playing in the games for sure, putting up a lot of points, especially seeing just what we can do as an offense, just kind of performing to the best of our abilities for the most part. I feel like we can always do better, but anytime you put up 40 points in a game is always fun.
Coach has mentioned it, and you just mentioned it, that this offense still has room for improvement. Is there a next step you feel like you guys need to take or could take on Saturday?
Absolutely. What that next step is, I don't know. There's just always better ways you can execute, just watching, going back and film and everything like that. But absolutely, I think we can definitely just execute some more. Maybe instead of, settle for field goals, not settle for field goals, but, go get a touchdown instead.
So when you have a game like you did last weekend, put up 150 yards, career high, was there anything you saw on film about their defense going in, or was it just kind of go out and execute on the field?
Kind of going on just executing. They last year they kind of gave us a lot of soft edges, so we were kind of anticipating that a little bit this year, and they ended up actually not giving us any soft edges until the big run that ended up popping. But kind of just trusting the process, trusting the game plan. But yeah, for the most part, kind of just going with the flow.
And yourself and Kanan, you kind of give defenses 2 different looks at the running back position. Just kind of when you're both kind of clicking right as you are right now, what does it kind of add to this offense?
Kind of what you said, kind of 2 different tones. So a lot of people like to say that we're kind of just like thunder and lightning, I guess. But Kanan's still pretty fast himself. So I guess just him being a bigger body in there, me being a little smaller body, but kind of giving it a different flow. But giving defenses different looks is fun. We kind of feed off each other, so it's great.
And what did you kind of notice about Missouri Southern's defense as you look at that this week?
They're fast. They're gonna play hard for sure. They're coached pretty well. They're actually defensively. They're really gonna have to work a lot. They're not gonna let us just come in there and take anything from them. So offensively, we just continue executing. I think we'll be just fine.
Thank you.
Lane.
Hey Billy, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So you were able to put up a game like you did against a really tough defense last week. Just what were you noticing about Kearney's defense that you were able to kind of take advantage of?
I guess they just kind of middle field was kind of wide open for the most part. You can kind of see that on film, but so we kind of knew that if we were gonna hit one down the middle, it would actually probably crease. So kind of just trusting, sorting everything out. But yeah, that was. Obviously BG always does a great job throwing the ball, so it's kind of easy back there.
And going into another week after the week that you had, just how do you try to carry that momentum forward?
Just execution. It seems like every week we just kind of keep building our execution. So I think that's just really the main focus, executing and not turning the ball over. We've done a pretty good job at that this year, not turning the ball over. So they've been pretty well at forcing turnovers themselves. Missouri Southern has. So as long as we execute and not turn the ball over, we'll be good.
And your offense just loves to score. How fun is it being on a team with an offense as active as this one?
Very fun. I mean, that's what we were brought here to do, to score points. And when we got recruited, we were brought here to score points, play, be the show, be offense. So extremely fun to just see our potential and see the fact that we can still grow.
All right, thanks.
Vince.
Well, Bill, I got to ask the question: who's faster, you or Cannon? I know you're talking about you're a little bit smaller, you have a little bit more rushing yards. Who's faster between you both?
I mean, I would probably say that I'm still faster.
Why is that?
I mean, genetics maybe. I don't know the actual answer to that question.
Well, Billy, as I think John talked about a little bit, you guys and Laney too said that your offense is clicking right now. You guys have scored, I think, 40 points the last 2 games. You guys have beaten this team 9 straight times, but obviously you guys don't look at that. What's the biggest thing you're looking at on their defensive side of the ball that you guys can really exploit, or maybe might give you some challenges in that game?
The fact that they do play fast, I think kind of hurts them. Not hurts them, but it helps them, but it can also hurt them in some situations. But I mean, it's something that I don't think it's anything that we've ever not seen before. So I mean, they do play fast, very fast. Their linebackers are pretty good. I think they got a few, all-conference guys back there, but we also have all-conference guys on offense. So I think actually a pretty good matchup for the most part. As long as we, like I said, as long as we limit turnovers, I think we'll be good.
And Coach says you guys have a lot more to prove. You guys have still 6 games left. You guys haven't done anything yet, in his words. Do you feel that same way?
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at, you try not to pay attention to like polls and stuff like that, but I mean, it's kind of hard not to. But I mean, you look at polls and we're still not ranked. So I mean, obviously, there's still something that's left that's unsaid, and something that still needs to be proved, that we still need to get more wins.
That's all I got, Billy. Appreciate your time.
I got one for you. Twice you've had to hurdle a guy on a long run. You also run track. You talked to Coach Blocker. Maybe gonna do
Absolutely not. I stopped hurdling in like 7th grade. I'm 5'7", so I'm not gonna be hurdling anytime soon.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks, Billy. All right, well, Braden, first off, let's go back to last Saturday, taking on Nebraska Kearney, the way you got that game unfolded. When did you kind of get the feeling that was a game you guys were going to win?
I don't really know. At a certain point in the game, I just, I felt like just offensively that we were just kind of rolling in a groove, had a rhythm, so things just always felt good, and defense was getting stops out there. So I wouldn't say there was a specific point, but by the 4th quarter and you're seeing all that, you feel pretty confident.
Yeah, Southern coming up Saturday. What about their defense? What stands out about it? What challenges is that going to offer your offense?
They're really fast and physical. They all play hard. They do a lot of different things. Create turnovers. They do a good job of that. So we're just going to have to protect the ball, execute our offense, and just I think match their physicality.
Obviously, last week, obviously everyone talks about you, throwing the football, but you had kind of two dynamic running game last week with Billy and Kane, and kind of taking over. How much did that help you in the passing game, kind of open things up, having them kind of do their thing right there?
Oh, it helps a ton. I mean, watching those guys run the ball, that's always good to see. I mean, there's sometimes I'm sitting there, hand the ball off, and I just kind of start watching the play, see what they're gonna do. But when we run the ball, I think it opens up our offense a lot more. O-line's doing a great job blocking, creating holes for those guys, and those guys are making plays, making guys miss. So, I think when we run the ball, we're a good solid offense.
Yeah, and you kind of mentioned that Missouri Southern, they're second in turnover margin, and they create turnovers. Do you approach a game like this any differently in terms of trying to protect the football, or just kind of stick to what you guys do in terms of that?
Yeah, I think protecting the football is always one of our key points each week. So you just kind of try to treat it each week the same. So, but that's a big thing. We got to protect the ball. Can't let them have it any. So.
And then one more. Richard Jordan is one of the top defensive players in the conference. He's 11th in the nation in tackles. Do you kind of try to know where he is on the field at all times, or just kind of let's see how to play?
I think you got to know where he's at. He flies around. He makes plays for him, makes big plays. I think you always kind of got to know and have an idea where he's at out there, and don't get caught sleeping.
Laney?
Hey, Braden, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So you beat a top 25 team. You've won 3 games in a row. You guys are getting votes in the national poll. Just what is really clicking for this team right now that's allowed you guys to just kind of take your season up a huge notch?
You know, I think it's just the way we come into practice, and each week, you know, every single day, I think we all just put our head down and go to work. You know, I think each week we just really try to stay focused, and you know, it's always about the game in front of you. It's not looking forward or looking in the past. We've just been taking it day by day and just getting better.
Mm-hmm. And, so Missouri Southern does really well in the red zone. Is that going to change your offense's approach in the red zone at all, or are you just going to make sure that you're always on it when you're in there?
We need to put points up when we're out there.
All right, perfect. Thanks.
Welcome.
Vince?
Well, Braden, this is, I think, the second or third game you guys have put up over 40 points. You know, we've talked about your offense hitting your stride. Have you seen that your offense has hit that point, or do you think you guys can get into another gear?
I still think there's room to improve. You know, each week you go back and watch the film, and you know, you see little things that you could have hit here and there, and you know, I think once we find those little things and take those next steps, we can just keep climbing as an offense.
And, you know, as Laney kind of hit on it there, you know, when you get down towards the red zone, the field shrinks, right? Is that where maybe you try to run the ball more, or you know, maybe do a little more slant routes? I mean, obviously there's so many different things you could do. You know, how do you maybe change your game? I think John hit on it a little bit there. But there's something different you guys will do, or you just got to pound it and get it in there however you can?
I think you just find any way to score. I mean, you just kind of see how they're lined up, how they're going to play us, and really just find a way to go put points on the board.
And lastly for me, Braden, you know, when you have Billy and you have Kanan, you know, and yourself, who all can run the ball, you guys are all capable of running, obviously you have a great arm. What does that do for defenses and your offense, that you guys can really shake it up and kind of do whatever you guys want and keep defenses off balance?
You know, I think it just puts pressure on a lot of teams. You know, if you're going to stop the pass, then we can run the ball. I mean, we got to be able to run the ball. If you're going to start playing the run, you know, you got to respect those guys on the outside that can make plays once they get the ball in their hands. So, you know, I think it's just really everybody just got to kind of play us base and, you know, just let us do us, honestly.
That's all I got, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks, Braden.
Thank
Good
you.
luck Saturday.
Thank you.
Anyway, how you guys doing?
Oh, Coach, how are you?
Good.
Okay. Well, 7 weeks in, getting ready for week number 8. To see this team mature as it has, how rewarding has it been, and how excited are you to see what more they can accomplish?
Well, it's good to see when you improve each and every week, and I think this is what this team has done from where we're at. You know, the first 2 weeks to where we're at now. I think that's a tribute to the coaching staff and the work that they put in. I think it's a tribute to the players and the type of players that we have that, you know, care about the program and have invested a lot into this program. You know, so. And we got to keep improving. I do know that. I think we still have a long ways to go. And what was the last part of that question?
How excited are you to see what they can accomplish?
Yes.
How much better they can get?
That's the thing, is that, just like I said, is we still have a lot of room for improvement. I know when Braden was in here earlier and talked about us, you know, scoring over 40 points or whatever. I mean, we got some guys making plays, no question. But I still think just we can continue to get better. We left some, the last 2 weeks we've left some things out there on the field too. Now granted, our field goal kicker Caden Dotson is doing a great job, but that's the we just have such a high ceiling, I think, with us offensively. And I say that in the sense that that's the side of the ball I'm with a lot. I'm not saying that about, you know, defensively. I think we can still be better too. So as long as, and we have to stay healthy too as well.
Missouri Southern coming up on Saturday. What challenges are they going to give your football team?
I think that Coach Bradley's done a great job, an excellent job there at Missouri Southern. He really has. He got those players believing. They play really hard. They're very physical. They got good-looking players. They're athletic. I think They have team speed on defense, and offensively they can do a lot of different things with their personnel groupings. And they're they're setting at 4-3. They're a good football team, and we got to be ready to play. And because if we're not, we'll get beat. And like I said, I think those guys, they've done a great job there, and they have an identity on both sides of the ball. They gave us problems last year. We won 24-21, and it was a dogfight. And now we got to go on the road, second week in a row after coming off a big win.
Yeah, I guess, talk about equal opportunity offense, right? Kind of balance run and pass last week. But when you have both Billy and Kanan doing what they did on the ground in the same week, just kind of what else does that add to your offense?
Yeah, I think that's why we've become better offensively, to be quite honest with you, from where we were at the beginning of the year to now, is that we're controlling the line of scrimmage, and we're able to run the football effectively. What I mean by that too is I'm going to say consistently, and having both those guys back there healthy too is huge, and those guys make it to where you don't have to block everybody. Which is good. That's the type of backs you want. It's called recruiting, where there's a guy there that is unblocked, well, we got to make him miss, but I do think our guys up front are playing really well. I think Coach Cash done a great job with those guys. It's really awesome to see how much those guys have improved, from week one up until now.
And just, Missouri Southern, Richard Jordan's 11th in the nation in tackles, one of the top defensive players. Do you kind of have to know where he is on the field at all times?
Yeah, no question. He is gonna. I tell you what. he's 11th in the country for a reason. He's a good football player, and I know that football's important to him. You can tell. He plays the game the right way. He's relentless in how he plays the game, and we got to be aware of where he's at all times, because he's definitely a difference maker on that side of the football.
And when you're coming off a game where you hold the top rusher in the league to under 50 yards in the game, does that kind of give your defense another level of confidence going forward?
I'm sure it does. The thing is we have to build upon that confidence and not let that confidence be something that causes us to relax or to get complacent. And that's been our message this week. Is a lot of people have been telling us, good job, good win, all that, and that's awesome, but hey, it's earmuffs and blinders. We're going to keep our head down and keep working.
Yeah. Thank you.
Lady,
Hey, Coach Higgins, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Good.
Good.
So Missouri Southern, very good in the red zone. Just how does your defense work on red zone situations?
Are you talking about our defense or our offense?
Your
Defense?
defense, yeah. Just how do they work on blocking in the red zone and stuff?
We have during practice, whether it's a Tuesday or Wednesday, and I'm not sure when our defense does it, but there's, they'll work third down, they'll work red zone, goal line, and what they'll do is they'll rep the plays. We break down, a lot of games, their previous games, and then we look and see kind of from reports if there's any tendencies there. And then, the favorite plays that they run inside the red zone, we'll work against those to kind of give our guys an opportunity to understand what they like to do in the red zone, because it is different down there. The field gets compressed, and, they're getting closer, of course, and they may do some different things to try to attack the end zone, on first and second down.
And your offense, once again, had a great week last week against a ranked team, and third one in a row. You guys are receiving votes in the national polls, which you may or may not pay attention to. So just how do you keep this team going and rolling the way they are?
I think, we just keep doing what we keep it simple. We don't change what we're doing. Just like we met as a staff last week. The biggest thing is we're preparing the same way. It's not like last week we were playing Kearney. It's like we were up here till 11 p.m. at night. And then this week we're going home at 8. That's not it. We're doing everything the same way. We're coaching our kids the same way. We're on top of them. We're making sure that, we're not letting anything slack because we feel good about ourselves. That's not it. We haven't done anything. We're 5-2 and we beat a good football team. That's what we want to do here. All right, and we've done that before here. So that doesn't mean anything if we don't take care of business Saturday. So that's kind of been our message throughout this whole week.
So without, changing week by week, like you say, or changing the way you guys prepare, how has this team been able to really just skyrocket the past 3 weeks?
That's I do think we're a tight-knit group, really, and we've always talked about that at our place. Like, hey, we got a great culture. Our players get along. It's not perfect, of course, but at the same time, it's like, we got to win football games too. Like we can hold hands and sing Kumbaya around the campfire all you want to do, but you got to line up on Saturday. You got to go win some games. Bottom line, I think that's kind of where we're at right now. We just. I think we're playing, like veterans, like we should. Honestly, like offensively, we struggled. I thought early in the year for whatever reason, and I think defensively we've been playing really well all year. We've say it every week. One of the big emphasis for us going into this year was to keep things in front and to not give up big plays. To where we were in shootouts at times last year, and it's really awesome to see those guys mature. Those guys in the secondary mature as a unit and begin to really trust what we're doing, trust our package. And now, as you said, starting to get a whole lot of confidence, which I think has been part of the reason why we've kind of taken off here the last few weeks.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
You bet.
Vince.
Hey, Coach, real quick. I know you guys had 553 yards of total offense, obviously, against a ranked team. And I know when you had that post-game speech after you guys beat, I think it was Central Missouri, you said this will do a lot for our team confidence-wise, and you guys beat Kearney. So what does that do for your confidence moving forward, right? I know it's still a young season. You guys still have like 6 games left. What does that do for this team moving forward?
I think that we got a hungry team, and I think that it makes our guys hungrier because they feel like there's still, like I said, there's a ceiling level there that we feel like we haven't reached yet, and I think that it gives them, as long as, and I believe this within this group, we are playing with confidence. It has to be used the right way, and it can't lead to complacency. It can't lead to, like I said, like thinking that we're doing something, man. I've been coaching in this league for a long time and have been up on the pedestal and got knocked off, the very next week. So like, again, our message is quit looking at all the things that we've done because we haven't done anything yet where it's in the regular season. We're taking it 1 week at a time and just keep your head down, put the earmuffs on and just keep working.
And are you proud of how your team responded? I know Kearney, threw the first punch at you guys to open up the game, and you guys really just took off from there. Are you happy how your team responded, and hopefully your team can continue to do that if you do get scored on first like that?
Yeah, no question. I think this is a very resilient team. If you just go back even, you go back and look at the games we've lost, like UCL, we put together a drive to try to win the game. We got it down there inside the 10. We just didn't execute really on about the last 2 plays. But this is a fight. This group of fighters, as I said, this is a group that has done a lot together. They've invested a lot. They've spent a lot of time and effort in their craft to try to be the best football player, which in turn helps us be the best program we can be. I think these guys, they believe in one another, and I think that if it's used the right way, which I think that it is with our players, they're just comfortable. They're comfortable in a sense like they know what we want to get accomplished. All right, not comfortable like meaning like, we're not coaching them hard because the way I coach is not changing this week. All our coaches, but just that sense of like, understanding kind of in depth of our game plans and being confident in those to where if we do the right thing and we play the right way, then it gives us an opportunity to be successful. Did I get off on that question?
No, that was fine.
All
Yeah,
right.
no, that was great.
I kind of always think,
I'm
man,
just wondering
sometimes
if your iMessages are working now.
it's still not. I've been watching Dawn. That's why I thought I was paying attention to him. He's over there on my phone with the iMessages. I don't think, so I was like, man, did I just step out into the weeds for a while there on that question?
Like, you're all good. I appreciate it, Coach.
Okay.
Thanks, Coach.
Is that it? Still ain't got that iMessage deal
Still
done though,
working on
Dawn.
it.
Ah.
So question.